Okay. After properties of solution, it is how concentrated the solution is. That is actually concentration of solution. So how to see the concentration of solution? Before that, we have seen activity 2, where in beaker A we have added few crystals of copper sulfate in beaker A and one spatula full of copper sulfate in beaker B. Both are of copper sulfate, right? Here in beaker A, the copper sulfate quantity was less compared to beaker B. So here the color changes. This will be darker in color. Beaker B is going to be darker in color compared to beaker A. Why? Because it is having more quantity of copper sulfate compared to beaker A. So colors may have been changed. Colors may be varied. The proportion of solute in the beaker are different, right? Proportion of solute and solvent can be varied. Which is solute here? Here solute is CuSO4, right? Then what is solvent here? It is the water. Water is the solvent and this copper sulfate are the solute here. So the proportion of solute and solvent can be varied, can be changed, right? Color might have been different, and depending upon the amount of solute, present in a solution, on that basis we say that the solution is dilute, concentrated or saturated. So when we compare beaker A and B, we say that beaker A is dilute. Beaker A is dilute compared to beaker B. Is this understood? To understand this, what we'll do? We'll go with activity, that is activity number 3. We'll take one beaker. We'll name it as beaker A. We'll take another beaker. We'll name it as beaker B. Then what we'll do? We will add salt in beaker A and sugar in beaker B. To this salt, we will add 50 ml water. And also this is sugar for beaker B, we will add the same 50 ml water. Then what we will do? We start stirring it with stirrer rod. Stirrer rod. With the help of a stirrer rod, we start stirring this beaker A and B. After stirring it continuously, what happens? So while stirring it continuously, what we will do, we will again add salt or sugar, right? After certain time, when you add salt or sugar to beaker A or B, what happens? It cannot dissolve. It is not going to dissolve. Why it is not going to dissolve? Because it has reached its saturation. Because it has reached its saturation. So continuously we will be stirring it and we will be adding little amount of solute to it, right? We will add first time, then we will keep stirring it, again it gets dissolved, again we will add second time, again we will be continuously stirring it, again it is going to dissolve. When you will be continuously stirring and when you add solute again, and that solute will not going to be dissolved, that solute is not going to be dissolved. For that moment, what we say, it has reached its saturation period. So in that case, what we will do, we will start boiling, we will heat it, we will keep heating the beaker. So we will raise the temperature by 5 degree. Then the normal. What happens? We will be stirring it. It will be under heat. So again, if we add solute, it will be dissolved. Again, that will be for some extent. Again, after that, it is going to reach its saturation. So when the solute was not able to dissolve in it, we raised the temperature by 5 degrees Celsius. Then we started adding solute to it. Is this clear? So when no more solute can be added, when no more solute can be added, for that we call it has reached its saturation period. So when no more solute can be dissolved or added in a given solution, for that we call as saturated solution. Saturated solution. This I have written in short form, right? Solution. So at any given temperature, whatever the capacity of a solute was there to dissolve in that solution, it has got dissolved, finished. Whatever the limit was there, that limit has been reached for that particular temperature. Or when no more solute can be dissolved in a solution, when no more solute can be dissolved in a given solution, for that we call it as saturated solution. So is this clear? In general, when your stomach is full, right, you have eaten more than what you have to eat. So once you are completely done with your lunch or dinner, if anyone comes and gives you the sweets which you like most, will you eat it? No, because your stomach is fully loaded. You cannot take any single sweet also. There, your stomach is saturated. Is this clear? Your stomach is saturated there because your stomach is full. So even though if your favorite sweets are there in front of you, you are not going to eat it for few hours. Is this right? Similarly, if this is a solution of say barium chloride and water, assume that 50 grams is going to dissolve in 100 ml of water, right? So think that there is 100 ml of water in this, and initially you have added 40 grams to this and you keep stirring it. So starting in ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ 40 gram barium chloride ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಿ 100 ml water ಗೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿ ತಿರುಗಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀರಿ ಸ್ಟಿರರ್ ರಾಡ್ ದಿಂದ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಉಳಿದ 10 ಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅನ್ನು ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಿ. The remaining 10 grams of barium chloride is again added to this, right? After it gets completely 50 grams mixed with 100 ml of water, later than that even 2 grams is not going to dissolve in this. So that is what is called as saturation. Whatever the capacity of solute is there to dissolve in a solution, it has reached that capacity. So no more solute can be added. For that we call saturated solution, right? The next is solubility. What is that? Solubility. What is this solubility? In the earlier example I said 50 grams of barium chloride which is dissolved in water of 100 ml. Right? So here solubility of this barium chloride and water solution is 50 grams. Why? Because the solute, how much it is going to dissolve, that is its solubility. The amount of solute present in a saturated solution, is called its solubility. Before it gets saturated, if you keep adding, that is not its solubility. Once it gets saturated, and after getting saturated, how much amount of solute is present in that solution? So whatever the amount of solute is present in the saturated solution, that is its solubility. I think saturated solution and solubility is clear. Okay. The next is unsaturated solution. What is that saturated solution? Saturated solution was the amount of solute dissolved or the amount of solute present in a saturated solution was known as its solubility. Then what is saturated solution? Saturated solution is nothing but when no more solute can be added. When no more solute can be added means we cannot add further solute to that solution. That kind of solution was said to be saturated solution. Then what about this unsaturated solution? It is the opposite of saturated solution. If the amount of solute contained in a solution is less than saturation level. So before it gets saturated, whatever the amount of solute will be present in the solution is said to be unsaturated. So as I said, once your stomach is filled, even if there are plenty of sweets kept in front of you, you are not going to touch it because your stomach has reached saturation. Similarly, if you are half eaten, if you are hungry, right, at that point, whatever the sweets or whatever you like or dislike, those food items are kept, you are going to eat it because you are hungry. That is unsaturated, right? So if the amount of solute contained in a solution is less than the saturation level, then it is said to be unsaturated solution. Next is concentration of solution. How we have to identify the concentration of solution? Simple. It is depending upon the solute present in the solution. How much amount of solute is present in the solution? On that basis, we are going to decide how much is the concentration of solution. To identify the concentration of solution, we have three methods. There are various methods, but we will be using only three methods to identify how much concentrated the solution is. And that first one is mass by mass percentage. So mass by mass. This mass refers to solute and this mass refers to solution. So mass of solute by mass of solution. Mass by mass means mass of solute divided by mass of solution percentage. So that is why it is into 100. Is this clear? Mass by mass percentage means it is mass of solute divided by mass of solution into 100. That gives you mass by mass percentage of a solution. Then the second method is mass by volume of a percent. So this mass refers to solid and this volume refers to solution. So mass by volume percentage means mass is of solute whereas this volume is of solution. So to find percentage into 100. Similarly, the last third one, it is volume by volume percent of a solution. This volume refers to solute and this volume refers to solution. So that is volume of solute by volume of solution into 100. So mass by mass means mass of solute by mass of solution. Mass by volume means mass of solute by volume of solution. Then last, volume by volume means volume of mass by volume of solute by volume of solution into 100. So these are the three methods which we will be using. There is one example given in the textbook. What is that? A solution contains 40 gram. So what is the problem? A solution contains 40 gram of common salt. So 40 gram of common salt in a solution of solution contains 40 gram of common salt in 320 gram of water. In 320 gram of water. So which is solute and solvent here? When you look at the examples that we have studied, solute and solvent makes a solution. So solute will be usually lesser in quantity and solvent is going to be usually larger in quantity. So what they are given, a solution is there, that solution is of water and common salt. Water and common salt, that makes a solution. But how much common salt is there? 40 gram. And how much water is there? 320 gram. So here solute is 40 gram common salt and solvent is 320 gram water. Then what is the mass of solution here? We know that solution is nothing but solute plus solvent. So common salt and water together gives us a solution. So both masses are combined to get a solution. How much is solute? 40 gram plus 320 gram. So it gives you 360 gram of solution. Right? So we will be using this first formula to find the concentration of solution of this one. So here both are given in grams, that is the unit of mass, right? As the units are gram, it is of mass. So mass of solute and mass of solution we will be using it. So what is mass of solute here? It is 40 gram, right? Solute is 40 gram. Then divided by mass of solution. How much is the mass of solution? It is 360 gram. Is that right? It is 360 gram. Then what? Into 100. Right? This cancels 4 ones are 4 nines are. So remaining is 100 by 9. How much we are going to get? 9 ones are 9. Again 1 remains. Again it becomes 1. Then we will take point. Again 1. So it becomes 11.1%. So 11.1% of concentration it is. In case if this solvent was given in terms of volume and solute as usual in mass, solute as usual in grams, and this solvent was given in volume, then we would have used mass by volume. That is second one, mass of solute by volume of solution into 100. That gives you the concentration of that solution. Are this clear? We'll be seeing more examples like this in the next class. The homework is you have to list the properties of solution. Whatever the properties of solution were there we discuss now, you have to make a note of it. Then write 3 formulas to find concentration of a solution. So which are those 3? Just now I had told, right? And have a habit of reading textbook carefully. Is this clear? So this will be the homework for today. We'll meet you in the next class. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.